And welcome back to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He's Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Ho, ho, ho.
I'm former wrestling announcer turned weight loss champion Chuck Carroll, and this, of course, Fourth and Pain. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fourth and Pain, like us on Facebook, and have lunch with us each and every weekday, fourthandpain.com. High noon, as always, Adam. Low calorie, high energy.
And I feel much better without that Santa suit on.
Dude, you must have sweat off a good 5 pounds.
I can smell myself, and that's when you know you stink.
Well, I'm sitting next to you, and I can smell you as well.
I apologize.
I can confirm reports. He stinks.
Thank you.
Yes.
So nice.
We haven't spoken about wrestling in a little while, so I thought, wouldn't it be fun? 'Tis the season, year-end awards and all. WWE on Monday Night Raw going to be giving out the Slammy Awards. So wouldn't it be fun, Adam, if we did our own?
Let's do it.
Fourth and Pain Slammy
The
Awards.
real Slammies.
Here, second down. Here we are now. They are doing a whole host of categories, and I think that instead of you and I giving out individual awards, what we should do is just give them out for Fourth and Pain as a whole.
Well, we just heard Kane and Daniel Bryan in anger management, so maybe we should start with the LOL moment of the year.
I like it.
We may have given away the winner, but go ahead.
I mean, seriously, if you can name us a funnier moment than their anger management skits with Harold, okay? I mean, this was just classic. When they're in the diner and Daniel Bryan is eating the meatball and Kane's the waiter, or when they're in that round table and Kane tells his entire life story and Daniel Bryan's like, this is going to be a bad idea. If you can name me, honestly, a better LOL moment, I will give you $5 because there's not one.
The diner and Kane's life story are my two favorite moments by far of anger management, which there's a lot of good moments.
Absolutely. Okay, let's do a big one here. Let's do a big one. Newcomer of the year. WWE takes a lot of flack at him for not bringing in fresh talent. But with this individual, I think that they did a pretty good job up front.
They did right out the gate. I wasn't excited about the way they handled it as it progressed down the road, Hell in a Cell and some of these other pay-per-views, but it's got to be Ryback.
Absolutely.
Got to be feed me more, feed me more.
You can make a case for the Shield coming on late. Too late in the year. Ryback gets it. He's headlining pay-per-views already. I mean, you can't ask for much more out of a guy, even if he's not exactly getting the push that we thought he would right out of the gate. But you know what? This is still, hands down, the best newcomer of the year. With that, from newcomer, let's turn to comeback moment of the year, comeback man of the year. And Adam, I was racking my brains trying to figure out who we should give this award to, and then you said it so obviously. Like, why didn't you think of this?
Well, at first, I'm trying to think of a wrestler, that's in the ring, that's in, The Rock, but not really. He shows up once every 6 months, and I'm like, oh, bam, simple. The guy had a heart attack, and like 2 months later, he's back. Jerry the King Lawler, comeback of the year, gotta be, hands down,
hands down. And just say what you will about his return. And the way that they handled it with Paul Heyman and CM Punk in the ring, kind of poking fun at it. But you know what? It's the wrestling business. They wouldn't have done it if Jerry wasn't okay with it. And he sounds as good as ever behind the mic. And I still maintain this, Adam. It's only a matter of time before we see him inside the ring once again.
Well, honestly, it's like nothing ever happened when you listen to him and you watch the show. And CM Punk and Heyman handling it the way they did is the wrestling way to handle it. That's the way of saying you're healthy, you're back to work, welcome back.
Absolutely. Now, let's transition. Tell Me I Did Not Just See That award, translated the most shocking moment of the year. This is another one that I kind of went back and forth with. I was like, who should we give this to? But then again, you and your infinite wisdom, see, I'm putting you over because you're much larger than I am. In your infinite wisdom, you said, obviously, it has to be...
Well, the return of Lesnar. I'm nice to you. I gave you an elf suit.
You did.
I mean, to me, it was the return of Brock Lesnar. The guy had been gone for 8 years, been in the UFC. The relationship between him and the WWE was not good. That was not a secret. The only reason that kind of made me not want to pick this because people were anticipating it. Rumors had come out that he was backstage at some of the events in WrestleMania, so people were kind of anticipating it. So it's not the... To me, it was still the most shocking moment. However, because of the relationship, because it'd been so long, and then bam, right out the gate after Rock Cena, here comes Cena Lesnar, and it was bam, everything just took off for the WWE once again. I loved when he came out, just stared at Cena, and just circled the ring. It was like a lion hunting a zebra. You know, just circling its prey, or a shark in the water, just hunting its prey. I loved it. He came in and gave him the F5. I called you after that, and I was like so pumped. And then a couple of weeks later, when he gave him the stiff fist, and he made him, I'm like, dude, that was real, right? That part was real, right? You're like, no, dude, it wasn't real. You like crushed all my hopes and dreams.
Sorry, it was not a shoot.
You know, but I was pumped, and to me, it was the most exciting moment, the most shocking moment of the year.
But you know what? On that, I think that we're going to see another shocking return of Brock Lesnar. He hasn't been on camera in some time.
And Rocky, both of them.
It's building toward WrestleMania season, which means that the gloves are going to come off. The surprises are going to be coming out of the closet once again. And remember, we still don't know what's going on with the Shield. We still don't know who they're involved with. I still, in my heart of hearts, am seeing a Brock Lesnar CM Punk match at WrestleMania. I think that that's what's going to happen with Paul Heyman right in the middle of it.
We got a couple of minutes here. So you got Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Heyman in the middle. Are you still wanting this Rock Cena rematch?
Whoa. It's not a matter of do I want it. I just see this being the natural course of action.
You are a terrible psychic. That is not going to happen. And if it does, I am not buying WrestleMania. I will be upset.
Seriously.
I will not buy WrestleMania, no.
Because I
can just watch last year's WrestleMania.
Because they build it as once in a lifetime?
And see the same stupid match. I waited a whole year for this match, and now all of a sudden, bam, I'm going to see it again. I want to see it at the Royal Rumble. I want to see it at another pay-per-view. Actually, I want to see CM Punk Rock at the Royal Rumble. But I want to see it at another pay-per-view, not WrestleMania.
But
plain and simple.
This one should be for the title, man.
I'm excited for Lesnar CM Punk. I love that idea with Heyman right in the middle, and Heyman somehow screwing Punk.
Well, yeah. Punk's obviously going to get the screw job here. Absolutely, 100%.
Do you think Punk beats Rock at Rumble?
No. I don't think that there's a chance in hell. I think that Rock is going to carry the title from the Royal Rumble up to WrestleMania, where he and John Cena are going to meet for the title.
So we have the same dilemma we've always had. We got 5 superstars and one's left out. Undertaker, who's he going to face? Because I still maintain Cena, Undertaker. All that is good and G-rated versus the darkness and the depths of hell. That's what I want to see at WrestleMania.
Undertaker, Ryback, coming soon. Ryback's going to end that streak. Mark my words.
They're not going to make him the guy to end the streak.
No, of course not.
No way.
Not in a million years.
Thank you.
I did hear, somebody was reporting, Adam, I do believe that the Undertaker has given his blessing. He will be wrestling at WrestleMania, according to one of the wrestling news sites. But who he's going to be wrestling remains to be seen, and whether or not he's going to end his streak also remains to be seen. I still think that if he was going to end his undefeated streak at WrestleMania, it would have been last year. So I'm really curious to see who he has on his agenda this year. I don't think we're going to be seeing Shawn Michaels or Triple H again this time.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Why don't we just replay all old WrestleMania and bring back Austin and Bret Hart?
Yeah, I would actually mark out for that. I would mark out for some Steve Austin.
First of all, Bret Hart can't walk, and Austin hasn't wrestled in like 10 years.
Yeah, but he's got one match left in him. He wants to wrestle.
And that should be against Goldberg, by the way.
All right. Well, speaking of match of the year, Triple H and Undertaker. Matter of fact, we still got a couple of awards to hand out, and that is my candidate for match of the year at last year's WrestleMania.
Mine as well. I like Lesnar Cena. And you immediately, I could tell, did not like it. And it's not the match of the year in the traditional wrestling sense. There was a bunch of blood. There was steel steps involved, all this stuff. So I think that's why other people won't like it. To me, it's what I like because there's instant blood and then the upset win at the end. But I'll agree with Undertaker, Triple H, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels, a guest ref. I can go with that.
Yeah, and again, it's kind of like I told you before we started taping. This isn't exactly a match that you knew going in was going to be the greatest wrestling match you would ever seen. But you throw 3 of those guys in there that have a combined probably close to 80, 90 years of pro wrestling experience between the 3 of them, you are going to get a phenomenal match just based off of psychology alone, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I knew Undertaker wouldn't lose it last year because he had to get to 20-0. Now, he's not going to make it to 25-0, so he's going to lose this year. 20-1.
You think this
whoever
is it?
It is.
You think this is it?
I think this is it.
Okay. I like that. That's a bold prediction.
I predicted that months ago.
We have a bold prediction once again on 4th and
to
Pain.
John Cena.
We only have a couple of minutes left here. 2 awards yet to be handed out. Let's start with a 4th and Pain exclusive. This is one that you dreamt out, one that they will not be handing out on the Slammy Awards Monday night. the most overrated superstar in WWE.
And I have 3 candidates. I have Dolph Ziggler, the guy who he makes a living just flicking his hair and doing this all the time and coming out with Vicky Guerrero. Otherwise, he'd get no crowd reaction. Alberto Del Rio, and all he says is, "This is my destiny." And other than his ring announcer, nobody'd give a crap about him. And then Chris Jericho. How can you beat The Rock, Stone Cold, be the first ever undisputed champion, and still not be considered one of the greatest of all time? Still never be the man, even when he was currently holding the undisputed championship. Well, those are your 3 options. You pick the winner, and I know you're not going to pick Jericho because he's your homie.
Absolutely, 100%. I could not disagree with you more about Chris Jericho.
You've been wrong a lot.
No, I haven't. I am right always.
Wrong.
Even if the stats tell otherwise, I am right always.
They do, by the way.
My pick out of the 3, honestly, is Alberto Del Rio. And here's why. Because Dolph Ziggler, love him, hate him, whatever. Yes, all he does primarily is just flick the hair. But he still has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Ergo, he's more accomplished than Alberto Del Rio right now. Ergo, Alberto Del Rio, most overrated ever. How many times have we seen Alberto Del Rio thrown into a main event and he never wins?
Never. He's lost to Randy Orton like 89 times in a row.
The most redeeming part of Alberto Del Rio?
I know what you're going to say.
The Mexican Roger
I knew you were
going
to say it.
The Mexican Roger Guiz.
The ring announcer.
As soon as Roger Guiz is gone, Alberto Del Rio, Dunsky.
I still fast forward my DVR and change the channel every time he comes on. Same with Dolph Ziggler and Jericho.
His entrance is obnoxious. Him and his 18 million different cars.
Which are all rented, by the way.
Of course they are.
Superstar of the Year.
Superstar of the Year final award. This one, to me, was a no-brainer.
And we did agree pretty easily on this.
Yeah, CM Punk. Hands down. This is a guy that's held the title now for over a year. Shows no signs of slowing down. This is a guy that just brings it night in and night out.
I will say, I agree with you, but I do have my reservations. He was overshadowed by Cena Rock. He was overshadowed by Cena Lesnar. He was overshadowed by Cena Show. He was overshadowed by AJ Lee for much of the year. It wasn't until AJ Lee, and by the way, we did not do Kiss of the Year. We still have to do that real quickly. By the way, it's AJ Lee because she made it out with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and John Cena.
She gets around, folks.
She is a tongue slut. But to me, he was overshadowed much of the year until he got involved with AJ Lee, and then he took off. And now this projected match with The Rock at the Rumble has made him, to me, the superstar of the year. But for the first half of the year, it was not him.
Well,
I think overall it is now, though.
I think that, you got to remember, the first half of the year, he was still rather young with the belt in his tenureship. Now he's kind of a little more seasoned. He's had it for a while. I think that there's an air of credibility now that he's had it for more than a year that wasn't there in the early part of 2012. I think now he's going to get his proper, so to speak. I think that he's going to be given his respect and his proper due.
Well, I'm just saying every main event until about midsummer was with the G-rated superstar versus somebody.
Well,
and finally, CM Punk took over.
I tell you guys what, why don't you tweet us at 4th and Pain? Let us know who you would vote for Superstar of the Year. We would love to hear it. Give us your superstar. Give us your reason in 140 characters or less. But on that note, we are fresh out of time.
We are.
All right. On that note, I'm Chuck Carroll. Thank you so very much for believing in our weirdness.
I'm Adam Carriker. Read the shirt. Peace out, 4th and Painters.